it was literally right after that that they started posting up pictures, and I could tell instantly something was wrong, like instantly. And then I became like in this like tug of war with myself, like, okay, do I call up him and say, dude, what the hell are you guys doing? Like something looks off here. And then the last picture he posted, I'll never forget this. Dan Solomon called me and he's like, have you seen the picture of Dallas? And I'm like, I have. I said, he doesn't look good. And I said, he literally looks like he's getting ready to drop dead. I said, and Dan Solomon says, dude, I just saw him and he looks like he's walking death. And I said, that's what he looks like in the picture. I said, he's gray. I said, his skin looks funky. Like
he's in the hospital. Or he's
they're just posting up progress pictures online. And I'm like, I said, he doesn't look good. Like he just looked unhealthy. And 2 days later, he died. Like, and that's the story. Like, I didn't, like I wasn't training him during the time. I trained him for 3 months. I didn't train him for the next 4 months or whatever from the time he died. I have no idea what they did. I have no idea what he was.
In stories like this, you get a lot of different versions of it on what happens. But he was a guy that was a liked guy. That
he was
coming
one of
up.
the most liked guys in the sport. Like, I'm telling you, like he was, if not the most liked guy. Like, I mean, I'm telling you, like, you were never going to find anybody that had anything negative to say about it.
Let me ask you about it. There's an article online that says the supposed Dallas McCarver anabolic cycle from Chad Nichols, right? And all of the stuff here that it's got, I mean, the list is
it's
a
not,
lot.
I can tell you, first of all, that's not, I can tell you, I've already seen it. It was sent to me. I can tell you exactly what it is, if you want me to tell you.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is not his cycle. This is a drug list that him and his coach ordered. That's the list they ordered. That's it.
That's a drug list
that's a drug order list.
But that's not you.
This has nothing to do with me.
Okay. So
I can tell you that with a fact.
This is pre-you or
this is after me, I believe. This is either pre-me or after me, but this has nothing to do with me and Dallas at all. Like,
Chad, that's
nothing.
That's a lot.
This is a ridiculous amount. But this supposedly, what I was told, is a shopping list for him and one other person. That's what I was told, and I was told that from literally the person they ordered it from. So it's a legitimate, like it's a legitimate guy that told me that. So
it's a legitimate guy that told you, but this part has nothing to do with you ordering with them. That's
this ain't got anything to do with
me.
Like this, literally, like I can tell you by like there's so much stuff on this because I believe this is the one because I've seen two, but this is the one with EPO on it.
Yeah,
and it's weird because that drug right there. I can promise you, like he didn't use with me, but he asked me about that drug. And it's weird because I didn't even think anything about it, but we were at the Arnold and he said, listen, he goes, I've heard people use EPO. And I'm like, yeah, I go, listen, I know of maybe 3 people that could have benefited or has benefited from EPO. I said very few people because it's a drug that literally doesn't really play a factor with bodybuilders. There are some very rare instances that possibly. And he's like, and then he asked me this question. I'll never forget this. And this was before I ever seen this list. He asked me, well, how long do they stay on that? And I'm like, 5 weeks max. And he's like, really? He goes, have you ever heard of anybody staying on longer than that? And I'm like, yeah, cyclists. He goes, bodybuilders? And I'm like, no. And he goes, so nobody like 6 months, a year. And I'm like, I go, dude, I don't know.
He's asking you this.
He's asking me that question. And I said, no. I said, that would be friggin' idiotic. Like I said, that
you get a sense that he asked you because he had done it for 6 months, or you don't know?
I didn't have any idea.
Okay.
I didn't have any idea what he was asking me. But then when I saw this, then I saw the EPO on it. And that's when I was like, holy shit, like what was he asking about? Like, and then I had already seen this list, and it wasn't until after the list that somebody told me, like, well, you know what that list is? That's an order list, And if you know anybody involved with this list, there's a couple things on the list that points right to who the list is. So
who it came from?
Yes.
Okay. And your world would know who that is?
My world would 100% know who that is. And they would 100% know that has nothing to do with me.
Okay. So let me ask you this. The reason why I'm going in this direction is the following. is I'm a fan of the sport. At this point of the game, you know I'm a fan of the sport. I showed you a picture earlier what I looked like when I was 20 years old. I wanted
Which was amazing, by the way.
I mean,
it was crazy,
Yeah,
right?
I wanted to go in the world in the direction of being a bodybuilder. And in 1 minute, I'm like, no, I'm leaving it. So with the current state of where Mr. Olympia is, with no Joe Weider, there's not a Weider, right? There's not somebody that's selling it, pitching it, from the top.
Right.
And with the current social media conditions where something like this wouldn't be around 1994. Someone's not going to write an article like this